All right, Shalom. Before I start, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakach Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all that like to Akim Wa Akwath, learning, teaching in truth and sincerity. All right, and this is going to be a video through the Spirit. I had two dreams back to back, over the course of 2 days, and I'm just going to do, I'm just going to relay what the dreams were and get a couple scriptures, because they're very, the times that we're living in, we're about to be dealing with it. All right, the first dream was dealing with inflation, and I just got on Google, I typed in Mediterranean food. All right, so that's what you're seeing, and the reason for this is because in the first dream, like I said, we're gonna get scriptures with it. Shorter video. I'm gonna just get the dream out there. In case I forgot, Salakia, but I'm gonna give all praises to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Rakach Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles, the great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all that like to Akim Wa Akwath, learning, teaching in truth and sincerity. All right, this is your brother Malak here from GMS Detroit. All right, so the first dream, y'all, I went to go get some Mediterranean food. It's a little bit healthier than niggas fried Papa chicken down the street. And the meal that I normally get, it's only about $12. 2 shawarmas and a half dozen of bread, which is basically like two pita wraps, and some of the oven bread that they be making. And here, in real life, a couple of years ago, it used to be $12. Now, in the year 2023, it can be from 18 to 20 bucks, depending on which one you go to. So that's already inflation right there, live action. But here in this dream, y'all, this meal that I normally go and get, which would have ran me, 12 bucks, I walked into the restaurant, I get to the counter, I tell her I'm picking up my order, and she looked at me, and she said, that'll be $200. And a complete shockwave went over my body. I was like, holy shit. Because the thoughts that came into my head, well, if my meal right now is costing $200, what is the price of everything else in my city? So immediately it clicked off in my head that people were about to start rioting, chaos, killing, theft, rape, robbery, murder. It immediately ticked off in my head. So I slowly backed up, very calmly. I turned around very slowly and I proceeded to my car. And I did that because I didn't want to raise no alarm. I didn't want anybody to realize that the prices was just jacked up. I didn't want nobody to panic before I could get out of there, and people start fucking killing each other. Like I said, I just got these pictures up, so y'all can see. I know some of y'all hungry now. But, imagine these little plates of food costing $200, y'all. This is about to get real. It's about to get real outside. Revelation chapter 6. And I'm going to start at, I'll start right at verse 6. I could start at 5, but that's dealing with, a little bit different of a topic. But we'll deal with Revelation 6 and 6. It says, and I heard a voice in the midst of the 4 beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. All right, and what does this mean? All right, well, we're going to go into the blue letter, but basically, you start at the top. It says what? A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. What is this? Inflation. It takes more buying power to buy lesser foods. And towards the end it says what? And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. And this is representative of the truth being preserved up into our times. We were able to receive all this knowledge and wisdom and understanding, which these Edomites have been trying to destroy and erase, for centuries now. But let's go take a look at one of those words in the blue letter. All right, let's go to Rev 6 to show you. Let's see. I'm gonna go to Rev 6. Penny. Yep, denarian. That's what it is. G1220 denarian. It says containing 10. It says a Roman silver coin in the New Testament time. It took its name from being equal to 10 asses, a number after 217 BC. Let's see. Oh, okay, here we go. Yep, it says it was the principal silver coin for the Roman Empire. From the parable of the laborers in the vineyard, it would seem that a denarius was then the ordinary pay for a day's wages. All right, so it's going to take, if you will, a day's wages to acquire and buy the food that you normally would, right? And then and that sounds about right, because you know what, if you take the average American, well, you know, really it's a little bit lower, but let's say that, you know, the average salary being $50,000 a year, right? That means you're making about $1,000 a week, right? You work 5 days a week. What is that? $200 a day. You know, five times 2, $1,000 for that week. So it took the average day's wage for me to be able to buy my little crusty meal. You know, and I like I say, the lady, she was just looking at me as I'm backing off. I didn't make not a peep, y'all. I took like 3 steps back, and then I turned calmly and softly, and I immediately got to my vehicle. And I don't remember much else of that dream afterwards, to be honest with you. But I know that the reason why I you know, that feeling overtook me is because I knew that all-out chaos was going to spark off as a result of the famine, because that's what people do in times of famine. When they can't get things regularly, they resort to taking things by force. And we're praying to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that we be preserved when that time comes. All right, let me get I'll get out a second address. Let's type it in. Son of a bitch. Slucky, y'all. Famine, second address. Damn it. Let me see. Okay, yeah, I think it was 15. Okay. It's in a couple spots. Yeah, there's a lot I can grab them from. Okay, we'll deal right there. Second address 15 and 5, right? It says, yep, second address 15 and 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So these things are coming because all of the wickedness that's going down here, and it's well deserved. All right, so for the next dream, let me get another picture up. I'll deal with something like this. This is actually pretty close to it. Now in the second dream that I had last night, this is dealing with resisting the mark. All right, so in the beginning of the dream, I find myself in a classroom, and you had a white woman, a cracker woman, going around the entire classroom, if you will, with a clipboard, and she was flat out asking people, "Are you going to take the mark of the beast or no?" You know, when she got around to me, you know, I said no, you know, no, without hesitation. And not only that, I started cursing her out and flipping the whole room upside down, if you will. You know, you have that scripture in Matthew chapter 10, you know, take no thought what you're going to say when they take you up. Well, you know, it wasn't, the Spirit completely hopped on me. You know, I didn't have a pre-planned speech or nothing. The Spirit took over me, and I started cursing her out. I started, you know, I was up in that bitch prophesying, you know, whoever takes it, you know, y'all gonna burn, the Lord finna destroy this bitch, you know, I'm going hard, right? And so she looked at me, she like, okay. And now on that clipboard, they had a couple different sections, and they had sections for the people who take it, and they had sections for the people who denied it. Well, apparently there was different softer and more hardcore levels depending on how you denied it. And since I denied taking it in such a vulgar manner, they decided to send me to the most hardcore of concentration camps. All right, they decided to send me to the most, you know, to the concentration camp that gives out the most suffering for its patrons, if you will, right? So I was like, all right, I was like, fuck it. I was like, come on, you know, I was like, I'm all for it. So, you know, they get a hold of us, they start marching us to where we gonna go. And then also, you know, there was 2 brothers in my camp with me, the head brother Gabar and the second in command brother Shakam. You know, they had also resisted it, you know, but they didn't, you know, make as much of a show as I did. So, you know, as we're being walked in a line, and then they separated us, you know, we're saying our, you know, shalom, you know, hey, everybody be strong. And as I'm walking in the line, there's a particular point that I started crying, all right? And wasn't crying because I was sad. I wasn't crying because I was afraid, but I was crying because I knew that this would be an opportunity for me to prove my faith to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, to go into it, head on, go into it with the expectation of deliverance and not to be all scared and ready to fold and bend to the will of Esau Edom. I was exceedingly, it was tears of joy that I was being counted worthy to suffer for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick, because that's the mindset we got to have, going into what we're about to be going into, y'all. If you're going into this scared, you're simply not going to make it, So let me get that real quick. Let me see. Yup, Acts 5, and this is after the apostles were beaten, right? So Acts 5:40, it says, and to him they agreed, and when they had called the apostles and beaten them, they commanded that they should not speak in the name of Yahweh Shai, and let them go. And they departed from the presence of the council, rejoicing that they were counted worthy to suffer shame for his name. And that's the spirit that I was in, that I'd be able to prove myself and prove my faith to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and that basically I had successfully resisted the mark. Now all I got to do is, march forth and die, if you will. The hard part was over. In my mind, I'm like, okay, well, shit. Now, now I just, if they however they do me, and either the Lord gonna beam me up immediately, or I'll be brought down in a chariot. That was my mindset. I wasn't in a mindset of bitching up. All right, so Acts 14, and we'll come back to the dream. Acts 14 and 22. These are just things to keep in mind. It says, conforming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. All right, so some of us are set to perish, but we will be raised back up. Now, not all of us will, but that's something that you have to have in the back of your mind. All right, so continuing with the dream, and we'll come back here. I have this building up for a reason. This is pretty good, actually. It's very damn close to the building that was in my dream. So I get marched to my sector where I'm going to be at, and come to find out, the camp where I'm at, it's like a real life version of Death Race or Gamer. If you remember that movie back from 2012, basically I had to participate in a series of real life games that if I failed, I die. They were basically making me their form of entertainment, and I had to go out and, do these events and try to survive, if you will. It was like a real life Death Race, if y'all have seen the movie, a real life game, or a real life, trying to think of other movies where the character, he's in like a game and he's fighting for his life, as entertainment to whoever's watching. It was like The Purge. I'm trying to think of the one where, which one was that? I think it was the Purge Election Day, where towards the end they had those people, and the politicians were about to kill them off. They had me like that, basically. Now, when they walked me to my area, I was actually sleeping outside in a tent off to the left. Imagine this is the building, because this is the whole building that I would have to go into to play the death games and fight for my life. But they would let me sleep outside in a tent every night. And some way, somehow, my dog was with me in that tent. And also, my ex-woman, if you will. And it's funny because now, it's martial law. It's the end of the world. Now my ex, she was ready. She was doing everything I told her to the T. Wasn't no arguments. Wasn't no disagreeing with me. Now the bitch wanted to shut her mouth and just follow my orders. All right. Which, that's that Isaiah 4:1. Now, I don't know if she had took the mark or not, or, I don't know how the hell she got there, but she wanted to be on me like a fucking tattoo. Wherever I was going, she was trying to go to stay alive. So I found that interesting. So this was the building that I was in. It was very similar like this. The bottom of it was brown and the top was blue. It was very reminiscent of a haunted house. And they would send me in there every day to fight for my life, eventually hoping that I died. And I kept, being delivered and winning in the situations. And eventually it got to a point to where I ran into an overseer that they had set up, to keep watch over all the participants. And I happen to know him back in the world. And so what he was doing, y'all, he was giving me tips and pointers and helping me survive. He was coming and sneaking me food. He was looking out for me, you know, rather than whooping my ass and trying to kill me. He'd actually, you know, he was showing me mercy and getting me through it, y'all, you know. So that those are both the dreams: inflation, and then the mark, and, you know, being put in a concentration camp. And Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, you know, he kept me good, you know. So real quick video. Let me get this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get this. I keep it basic, plain and simple. The heavy hitter. Psalms 23:4. Yeah, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. All right. Matter of fact, yeah, I get that too. I know what I'm gonna get. Jeremiah. Hey, now ultimately the valley of the shadow of death is America. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, he's leading us while we're here, you know, wherever we go, and keeping us safe. And in that dream, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai was leading me and keeping me safe, y'all. You know, he put the spirit on me to deny the mark. He put the spirit, you know, to where I can get through those games without dying. And he put the spirit on that overseer to show me mercy and to be helping me out. All right. And have my woman in check. And I had my dog with me, my literal, you know, 4-legged dog. I don't know how he got there, but we was on our, you know, he was ripping and running with me too. All right. Jeremiah 15:11. It says, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai said, verily it shall be well with thy remnant. Verily I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction. And this is going to be happening for some of us, y'all. The ones of us that might get snatched up. And this ain't the first dream I've had about. I've had another dream where I got snatched up and was put in a concentration camp. I just didn't do a video on it. And people were looking out for me. As a matter of fact, I was able to sneak out at night and, you know, get shit done. I don't know why I didn't just sneak out and stay gone. There was something in there I think I was trying to get done, but I was sneaking out at night, going and getting food, you know, clothing and whatnot. Guards would help me sneak back in and look out for me, keep me safe. Wasn't nobody beating on me, you know. You got to believe Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is going to protect you and keep you safe in those times. He's going to make a way for us when don't nobody else got a way. All right, so that's about it. You know, this was the building. They had me. They was trying to kill me, y'all. Motherfuckers were trying to kill me, you know. So I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all the Akimo Akwath, learning, teaching, and truth and sincerity. Shalom.